She says no.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, she says yes. Hey everybody at The Leather Guy, this is Jackie, and we are in The Leather Guy Facebook. Also joining you is our VIP group, Dibs. If you have any questions about how to join that group, please, in the comments, just type away and let us know. But we are doing our first double Facebook Live.
I have no idea what camera to look at. I'm just going to look like I'm staring into space.
Right? Just look at Deanna's forehead. Okay, so we have a lot going on today. We already have been talking to the Dibs group, and now we're joining you guys in the Leather Guy. Had a lot of questions this week about
kind of the technical aspects of leather. What's weight? What are we looking at when we're referring to temper?
All right, so some of you that are tuning in at The Leather Guy, if you're out there, pop in, tell me hi. I'm going to say hi back. If you have a question or a comment, make sure that you are just jumping right in there and asking. Now, I know some of you that are not novice, that have been working with leather for years and years and years, especially over on The Leather Guy. This may be like learning your ABCs, but bear with us. If you have some knowledge, some tips, some tricks yourselves, you want to pop in and share, please, please do. What we're trying to go over is kind of the 5 basics of leather. What is the temper, the texture, the grain, the weight, the kind of the feel of leather, especially for those who have just started. So today we're going to talk about weight and how we gauge weight, what weight looks like, what are the typical weights for most breakdowns of leather. We're going to get to that in just one second. I wanted to show you some of the new things that we have in the Etsy shop. In fact, these are in the new section, and they have just been listed yesterday and today, I think. So really super hot items we've got going on right now. We're going to start out with some of these glittery, shiny, really cool cow pieces. Taylor's going to walk them up to the camera and kind of show you what we got there. Deanna, what did we end up calling these?
In general, or
yeah,
just shimmer and suede or so. Something like that.
Okay, these are not part of the Shimmer and Shine collection, but they're super sparkly and glittery, and they're in lots of different colors, and those will be available in 4x6s, 8x10s, and 12x12s. Then we have this really cool kind of patent cow again, and it's really got this iridescent kind of Barbie shine to it. It picks up pinks and purples and greens, and it's a really cool leather. Those are new and up in the new Etsy shop as well. So you'll want to check those out. Those are available 4x6s, 8x10s, and 12x12s. Got a pastel purple print and some really cool other prints. I'm going to come over there and show you some of these as well. That's a really cool purple polka dot embossed. This is called Marvelous Metallic Chevron. It's a really nice metallic shiny chevron piece. It has really nice texture. Anybody that's doing jewelry and earrings and that kind of thing, this will be a really nice piece. We've got some brand new mermaid that is in the shop, some silver, and then we have some color shifting. So those will be some really nice pieces that you will want to check out. That's in the Etsy shop under new as well. So tons and tons of new stuff listed in there that you're going to want to make sure and check out. We also have some Italian calf. Do you want to show them some of that? Yeah. This came in about 2 weeks ago, and it's got some really cool, nice fall colors. So here is a plaid embossed tan hide, and for any of those fall projects that you've got going on, this adds a really nice touch to it. The calf is a little bit smaller than having to buy an entire side of cow, so if you have a smaller project, this might be right up your alley. Really nice quality. These came from Italy, so I think you'll be super impressed. We also have some really cool patent calf hides right now. This is like a lipstick pink, and it has a textured patent on it. Makes some really cool accents or embellishments. Heck, it would even make a really cool just clutch in itself. So if you're interested in any of those are on theleatherguy.org, and you're going to go to cow hides, and then select calf. And all of those ones will be under there. Anything that's new will have a new little icon in it as well. I do have a sneak peek for everybody. I have 2 brand new metallic colors that we are adding next week. So these are not even listed yet, but very soon. This first one is Martini Olive Green, and that is part of the Vegas collection. So that will be available in 4x6s, 8x10s, 12x12s, project pieces, sides, and scrap. So super excited about that. Martini Olive Green, and that's part of the Vegas collection, which is available online as well as in the Etsy shop, on Amazon, and on eBay. I really feel like going to the website is your best bet when you're trying to find all of those different collections, because we have them nicely kind of selected within a filter, so you can kind of try to find those. Next up, we have Party Girl Pink. It's a medium pink. So we have our lighter pink metallic, which is Showgirl Pink, and then we have that deep flamingo pink, which is kind of a magenta. This is an in-between. It is a really nice pink, and it has a beautiful pink back on it as well. So anybody that's working on jewelry, earrings especially, you guys are going to just love this pink. I'm super excited about it. We are clicking it this week. We will get it listed in next week for you guys, and it will be available, like I said, in the Vegas collection. Again, the pink will be 4x6s, 8x10s, 12x12s, sides, project pieces, and even some scrap. So if you're interested in either of those, make sure you check those out. So that is just honestly a few things that we have that are new that you'll want to get in and check out. Anybody that is interested in shearling, using for newborn, baby photo shoots, texture in any of your pictures, we have just piled up on a ton of our shearling, and they're really nice, really great colors. Here Taylor has one. It's kind of a longer curly one, and it's got a little bit of color to it, so it's super fun. We're going to have some social media posts going out later this week that shows you how you can utilize a lot of these shearling in some of your photo props. So if you're interested in that, that is up as well. Not to mention, we are adding chap leather. So if you're a chap leather user, tons and tons of chap leather that's come in. So get to the website, check out all that stuff that's new. If you have any questions or anything going on, you need ask those questions, you can reach us here at the shop, and you can use our phone number 507-932-3795, or you can reach us at sales@theleatherguy.org. You can get a hold of us here on Facebook through Messenger. You can message right here in this live. There's a million ways you can get a hold of us, and we try really hard to make sure we get back to you promptly. So if you have a question, make sure that you're jumping on and asking. If you see me and you're tuning in, make sure you pop in and say hi, and I will say hi back. Next up, we're going to talk about the kind of the technical aspect of leather, and especially for some of our newer folks, what does weight mean? And we're kind of going to try to break this down. There's a couple different explanations. Most leather is weighed in ounces, and how we weigh it is by using a gauge. So it can also be referred to as thickness. So if you don't have a gauge, but you know you want 1/64 of an inch thick leather, then there is a scale and a breakdown. All of this information that I'm going to give you today is available on the resource page of theleatherguy.org. So after you see this video, if you're like, what was that again? You can pop into the resource page and you can find both of these scales kind of in there. The cool thing about leather and trying to figure out what the different weights are is you have a really cool system that's available right in your pocket to tell you how thick leather really is. And it kind of just breaks down to being some cash. If you pull out a dollar bill and each one of your coins, I'm going to show you today how to measure that weight based off of these monetary. We're all okay? All right. Keith popped in and was like, what's going on? Okay, so in your pocket, we have a great scale for how to gauge the weight. So we're going to start to look at that in just 1 minute. First, let's talk about each of the different weights. So basically, weights will run from under an ounce, so 1/4 of an ounce, but typically 1 ounce, all the way up to 18, 19, 20 ounces. Most leathers that we have here in the shop are anywhere from 1 ounce to about 9, 10 ounces. And most commonly, will you go show them the lamb?
Yeah.
Most commonly, lamb and pig are going to be some of the thinnest leathers that we carry. And Taylor's got an example of a piece of lamb. She's going to try to show you the edge of it and kind of how thin it is. So lamb is going to be anywhere from like 1/2 ounce all the way up to 2-3 ounces. But typically, you're going to find lamb that's going to be in that 1, 1.5, 2 ounce range. And a good way to gauge how thick that is just by kind of taking out your dollar bill. A dollar bill's thickness without being folded is 1/4 of an ounce. If you take it and fold it in half, your dollar being folded in half just like this, one fold is actually 1 ounce. If you fold it again, then you're at 2 ounces. So if you're looking online and you see some lamb and you're like, geez, I don't know, I don't usually use something that's that thin or not, pull out a dollar bill and fold that in half, and then in half again, so that it'll be 2 ounces, and that'll kind of tell you how thick that lamb actually is. All right, moving right along, kind of next up from that is going to be fashion leather. So we have fashion cow, we have goat, we have a lot of things out there. But what we're going to talk about today is kind of our stock leather. Taylor has an example of our Candy Dandy Coral. Is that what it is? Candy Coral? Close.
It's there.
It's there. That's going to be 2 to 3 ounces, and then 3 to 4 ounces. And basically 4 folds on your dollar is going to show you how thick that is. So most of the handbag leather, that fashion leather, is going to be kind of the same weight as the leather that's on your couch. Most upholstery leather is 2 to 3 ounces, right in there. And so a lot of the leathers that we have that are the kind of the bright colors, the fashion, all of that, they're going to range anywhere from 2 to 3.5, 4 ounces, but kind of in that range. And the way that you can, like I said, talk about that is if you have a quarter, the thickness of a quarter is 4 ounces. So if you're looking at something online that's 3 to 4 ounces, it's going to be about as thick, maybe just a little thinner than what that quarter is. So 4 ounces is a quarter, and that will measure a lot of that fashion or handbag leather. It'll be just underneath that. We do get the question, what's the thinnest leather I can sew on my machines at home? We recommend staying under 5 ounces for home machines. Now, that being said, some people's will not do the 4 to 5, but 2 to 3 typically you'll be able to sew at home using a heavy industrial weight thread, a heavy nylon thread. So make sure that if you are looking at leather and you know you want to use your machine, my advice is stay under that 5 ounces. If you're choosing something that's 2 to 3, even 3 to 4, you should be okay. You can always go ahead and get some little pre-cuts that are 4x6s just to test out on your machine before you were to order a side or a project piece as well. So moving up from our 3 to 4 ounces is oil tanned leather as well as chap leather. Most oil tan leather that we have in stock is 4 to 5 ounces and 5 to 6 ounces. Now, a nickel is going to be 4.5 ounces. So if you're looking online at chap leather and you're not exactly sure what that measurement, how thick that really is, pull out a nickel out of your pocket, and 4.5 ounces is about the weight of chap. So if you are not sure, if you think it's over that, you can pull out that nickel, just look at it, know it's going to be a little bit thicker than that. Your penny is going to be 3.5 ounces. So that's a really good thickness to match a lot of those stock leathers and those handbag leathers. So a nickel is going to be that 4.5 ounces in weight. As far as like inches, it's going to be 5/64 of an inch. So if you're looking at it and you have a small ruler or tape measure that has all of your marks on it, that's about how thick 5 ounces in weight on leather is going to be. And then kind of up from there, and I know this is jumping a lot, we have a lot more leather than we're talking about today, but vegetable tan leather. Vegetable tan leather comes in a wide variety of weights. In fact, we offer it from 2/3 all the way up to 9/10. Taylor, what is that thickness of the one you have?
This one here is, I'm reading upside down, 4 to 5 ounces.
4 to 5 ounces, okay. Most people that make sheaths will use 7 to 8 ounces. If they want it to be a little bit more pliable and bendable, a lot of masks, journals, that kind of thing, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 ounces is a good weight to use. And again, 5 ounces is that 5/64 of an inch, kind of right in there. We do have some really thick, grab that one up top right there.
Oh, gracious.
That should be 9/10. She's going to pull out a 9/10 so that you can see what that kind of looks like. That's going to be 5/32 of an inch. That's some really heavy, stiff, can you get it?
I'm going to try.
Veg. So that's going to be not semi-stiff, that's going to be really stiff. But with the veg, it is moldable, so you can get it wet, and you can mold it for the projects that you need. So that is vegetable tan leather and that weight, how that breaks down. We do have lots of other details that we talk about as far as the technical aspect of leather. And following the next few weeks, we're going to talk about each one of those. Basically, when we get a new person in and they go kind of back to listing, we go over 4 really primary technical aspects of leather. The first one is, what type of animal is it, and how do you tell the difference from one animal to the other? So we will talk about that. What's the difference between lamb and pig, and how do you tell the difference? What's the difference between a New Zealand deer and a regular American deer, and how do you tell the difference between that? So I do have some animal breakdowns that we'll talk about in future weeks. And then next week we're talking about our finish. So finishes, we have lots of different finishes. I'm holding up the wrong one. Finishes, yes. Okay, lots of different finishes. So we have smooth to grainy to pebble grain to nubuck to embossed and just a ton of different finishes that leathers can have. So next week we'll kind of break those down. We'll give some examples of those and talk about some of the different uses that people use for the different finishes as well. One thing to keep in mind, a lot of people will say to me, I'm making leather earrings and I need to make sure they're not too heavy. There's a big difference between thickness and finish. Something can be just 2 ounces thick, but if it has a rigid or stiff finish, let's say it's a patent leather, or it just really has kind of a really big top coat on it, it's going to be way more rigid and not as flexible. So the weight really doesn't have anything to do with that. Go ahead.
Aaron says, do you guys sell those little sample cards?
We can sell the little sample cards, yes, if that's something you're interested in. As far as like a breakdown of, you tell me if you would like to see all 4 of those, as far as finish, animal, grain, and weight. Is that something you would be interested in? If so, yes, we can definitely put something like that out. We'll wait for Aaron to answer that while we keep talking. Next up, we're going to talk about the how we kind of make a difference between soft, semi-soft, firm, semi-firm, stiff, and what those look like in some of the leathers.
Awesome.
Okay,
Aaron.
great. Yeah, okay. So we'll work on getting out a card with all 4 of those that we can get sent out. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem at all. So then we will talk about what are the different finishes as far as what we consider soft, semi-soft, semi-stiff, that kind of thing. And then
he also says it will make things easier to shop online for the leather.
Definitely. So each of our descriptions, whether you're shopping on Etsy or whether you're shopping on the website, we have all of these things listed. So we always talk about what's the weight, what's the square footage, and we will have a session on how we measure square footage, what that actually looks like, the conversion between a yard and a square foot and what that looks like. But as far as the description, we always try to list what its temper is, what its finish is, what its weight is, what its size is, and what its color is. So we try as hard as we can to be your hands and your eyes, because sometimes pictures aren't as best. And trust me, we've had lots of suggestions saying, why don't you list videos of each of your leathers? Trust me, if the technology was there, we would do it. We agree 100% that video of each of the pieces, seeing how it moves or doesn't move, is really helpful in that purchasing process. So as soon as we are able to, that will come to the leather guy for sure. But as far as today goes, that was a quick kind of breakdown about weight. And like I said, any of these resources will be available on the resource page of the Leather Guy. One is under facts and questions, and then the other one I think just says leather weight. But you'll be able to find both of those scales on the website. And if you have any other questions, make sure that you're just reaching out to us, asking us about them. If you ever are confused about a weight, make sure you just pop in and ask a question. You can send us an email or just give us a call. And we can also talk about, as we start to go, what are good weights to make, like I talked about sheaths, what are good weights to make handbags, what are good weights to make baby moccasins, what's a good weight of leather to make leather bows or earrings or whatever project you have. And we do have this on that resource page on our website as well. There's a breakdown kind of by animal, what are good projects in their weight classes. So that may be something that you want to visit as well. So hopefully this was super helpful for everybody. And if I pop off here and you guys end up having other questions, make sure you let me know. Otherwise, until next time, I'm Jackie. This is
Taylor.
and Deanna behind the camera. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.